Welcome back to Self-Love Ignited. On today's episode, we are talking about how your body really is on your side. My name is Katie Allen, and this is Self-Love Ignited. Let's get to it. Alrighty, welcome back. I am really excited about today's topic because it is such an important one, and that is that your body is on your side. Now, when we are on this journey of, self-love and self-acceptance and making peace with our bodies, it's challenging, right? And quite often, I know I can speak for myself here, and I know a lot of my clients, especially back at the beginning, we feel like we are working against ourselves and we feel like we are working against our bodies. And this idea that we're actually on the same team is really fundamental on this journey. And I want to tell you a personal story that was a really big aha moment for me. This was about 5 years ago, roughly 4 to 5 years ago. I was living in Sydney, Australia, and I started seeing an osteopath for back pain. Now, I have had back pain since I was a teenager. I used to ride horses. You fall off. I'm sure I injured myself back then at some point, and then over the years, I have re-injured myself a few times doing different activities. And I went to see this osteopath because I was in a really bad way and I was not even able to, I was having trouble like putting shoes on and getting dressed in the morning, and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember going to him and saying, I have a really bad back. I have a bad back. I have back pain. I have a bad back. And I think it was our very first session, he stopped me and he said, you need to watch what you're saying because your words create your reality. And you are saying you have a bad back. Therefore, you are saying that your back is working against you. So as an osteopath, right? This is somebody who's trained in medicine, but he understood the connection between our words, our brains, our beliefs, and then how that manifests physically in our body. And that very first session, from then on, it was simple, but such a quick reframe of, I don't have a bad back. My back is tight. The muscles in my body are tight because I have injured my back, and my back is now protecting me from further injury by holding everything really tight. Right? It's actually a protection mechanism. It holds everything tight, therefore it cannot be re-injured, but the tightness is often what causes pain. At least for me, that was the case. And right from then on, it was not, I have a bad back. It is, my back is protecting me. How can I work with it? We literally have the same goal: to live pain-free, to be healthy, to be free of injury. How can we work together? And from that day on, I have never once said I have a bad back. I have never said anything bad about my back. I have said I have a back injury. I've said I have back pain. I have said I'm working with my back. But that's just a really beautiful example about how our words about our bodies and our beliefs about our bodies impact our reality in a huge way. And that was quite close to the beginning. I was very much on the way to self-love and body acceptance at that point, but it was still a big work in progress. And I know without a doubt that those words that my osteopath told me, I know that those have completely been a game changer for me. They've been a complete game changer for me. Okay. So I think that a really interesting thing in this case, or maybe not interesting, but a really important concept, is understanding the chicken and the egg thing, right? And what I mean by this is sometimes we go, well, I want to feel really good in my body, and then I'm going to start speaking nicely about it, right? Maybe I'm going to lose 10 pounds, and then I will start saying how beautiful I am. Or I want to be free of pain, and then I'm going to say how strong I am. Right? It's like we want to feel the thing before we say the words, but sometimes we need to say the words before we feel the thing. So, it's, if you really want to, let's just use my back because it's a good example. And I think it's pretty relatable because lots of people have pain in their bodies from different things over the years. So if you are always saying, I have a bad back, I have a bad back, I have a bad back, then that is the energy you're going to be putting into your body. That is the energy you're going to be putting towards your back. It's bad. It's negative. That's not like a loving, healing, accepting energy, right? That is like a negative, putting you down kind of energy. But if we start saying, my back is protecting me, my back is really stiff, my back is really sore. Why is it stiff? Why is it sore? It is scared of being injured again. It is protecting me from further injury. So I want you to check in with yourself and consciously choose different. Okay. If you do this, if you have a bad back or a big tummy or thunder thighs or whatever that thing happens to be, consciously choose different. How can you reframe that in your mind? How can you reframe that? Instead of having thunder thighs or fat thighs, maybe they're strong thighs, right? Instead of having a big tummy or, ugly stretch marks or whatever it happens to be, what else is that? How can you reframe that in your mind? How can you reframe that? And I do a really beautiful exercise quite often with my clients where we look at that and we reframe it. And it's not something that I can do on the podcast. It really is sort of a one-on-one conversational type exercise, but we look at how is perhaps extra weight on your body or this part of your body that you're fighting with, how is that actually an expression of love or an expression of something that needs to be released, or an expression of creativity that wants to be unleashed on the world, or an expression of an emotion that needs to be felt, right? So we need to look at how we can reframe that. And then ask, how do you want to relate to your body? Do you want to see your body as strong? Do you want to see your body as capable? And when you fall into those traps of, oh, I have a bad back. Oh, I have these really fat, ugly thunder thighs. Notice it. Just notice it. Notice it without judgment if possible, right? Be really curious about it. And then reframe, consciously bring that reframe into your mind. This is totally a practice. Do I have a bad back or is my back protecting me? Do I have a bad back or is my back trying to keep me safe? My back is trying to keep me safe. Oh, I'm so grateful that my back is trying to keep me safe. I'm so grateful that we are working together. I'm so grateful that my body is on my side. And this has nothing to do with how your body looks necessarily, right? It's about being on the same team and knowing that your body has your best interests at heart. And then you have to consciously, over time, repeatedly choose different, choose that reframe. And the thing is that there's lots of reasons why we have these stories. There's lots of reasons why we have I have a bad back, or I have these fat thighs, or I have this whatever, right? These stories usually come from childhood. They usually are something that we have inherited from our family. They're usually something that isn't even ours. Quite often we absorb them from our environment when we're young kids, but then we take them on as adults and we don't really know why they stay with us. And this is a lot of the work that I do with my coaching clients, is getting to the bottom of where that came from and getting rid of or clearing where that came from so that it doesn't keep visiting you. But by yourself, you can definitely consciously choose to change this story in your head. You can consciously choose to bring this reframe in. My body is on my side. My back is protecting me. My body is on my side. My back is protecting me. I'm so grateful that my body is on my side. I'm so grateful that my back is protecting me. And make this a practice. So instead of, oh, I have a bad back, I have bad thighs, I have ugly thighs. How is your body on your side? Identify that, get real curious about it, identify it, and then keep it front of mind. Keep it front of mind, okay? And if you are interested in diving deeper, if you are interested in getting to the bottom of where this all came from, if your challenge is deeper, or if you are doing this work and you are just finding that it's not sticking, then you have got to go deeper. You've got to go deeper. Okay. That's simply how it is. So if you are curious about that, please book your free call with me. There is a link in the show notes, of course, to do that. These calls, we just jump on one, you and me, and we talk about your challenges. We talk about where you are getting stuck, how you are hating on yourself, how you are hating on your body, what you would like instead, what is getting in the way. And then together we come up with a plan of how to get you there. Okay, so that is what these free calls are. So if you are interested in doing the deep work, you are absolutely invited to book one of those free calls. But in the meantime, start doing this. Start doing the work. Reframe this. Sit down. How is your body on your side? How is your body working with you? Because I can absolutely guarantee you it is. Your body is your best friend if you let it. It wants to be your best friend. You just have to let it in. You just have to let it in. All right. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm so grateful to you. Have a beautiful week. Lots of love. I'll see you next time.